What's up everybody, Arrg the Pirate here, and today we're gonna talk about Kallari. Now this is a very basic deck that I built for her because I haven't played her much since version 40, so let's get into it. First, pick up Arch Magnus, 2 health potions, and a healer token. Now let's get into the meat of the deck. Start out with an Assassin's Ward with 3 points in power, then follow that up with 2 Adamant Edges with 2 points in power and 1 point in health, both built the same. Then 2 10-point Whirling Wands, all with power. Then 3 Void Steel Daggers with 3 in pin, 4 in power. And then upgrade your Assassin's Ward with 7 points in lifesteal. Now let's get into some gameplay. Now Kallari is the one true assassin in Paragon. Countess is a close second, but Kallari with her invisibility and just her way she can sneak up and just do tons of damage before you even realize you're being hit makes her just an incredible assassin. But she offers very little for your team. You really need to have a team comp based around you being an assassin. Much in the same way with Countess, you really want some CC and things like that. But the difference in Countess is she can withstand a lot more than Kallari with her ability to heal. Now Kallari does have a passive that allows her to heal while she's in the Shadow Plane, and that's fairly good now, and it gives her a little more credibility or reason to pick her because she's not just a squishy target anymore. But the only way you get that health regen is to stay in the Shadow Plane. Now this team, or both teams really we're playing with, we're kind of all over the place. I had Sev in, the off lane with me, and then he went and dove into the jungle. I've got Revenant in the safe lane with me, or their safe lane, and he doesn't really have a support. No one's really playing the more traditional way. Everybody's just kind of running around doing their own thing, which is fine. That's actually great for Kallari because playing off lane with her with someone like Rev that can mark you and keep vision on you, or a Phase and Sparrow combo where they can really just poke me and root me and really cause damage, makes it much harder to play Kallari in this off lane. Now, another great thing to note about Kallari is she can pick these gold buffs up fairly easy. With her double jump, she's able to casually jump up there and throw her knife and, get that gold buff almost instantly, and then slip away and get out. Now, I don't upgrade my throwing knife like I used to. That was really the only ability I focused on. But now I kind of spread myself out with Kallari, and I'm pretty even on all her abilities. Because one, you stay in the Shadow Plane. The other one, you heal when you're in the Shadow Plane. And then the third is your Crippling Dagger. And the dagger's great, but once you have it unlocked that first time, you're missing out on damage, but you're not getting kills with the dagger. You're just slowing enemies and allowing you to catch up and get those basic hits, is the way I see it. Now, one thing you can do is pick up a Thunder Cleaver. This will allow you to actually have some wave clear and be able to defend lanes. In that mid-game where you really want your offlaner to push lanes, Kallari just can't do it. She's probably got an even slower wave clear than Morgesh. And this is kind of a problem especially if your team is, really expecting you to push lanes and you just really have no option available. Your Crippling Dagger's on a fairly short cooldown, but you don't want to just blow through mana. And you could go into the Shadow Plane often and get that big bonus hit, but again, you're going to be just blowing through mana at that point. Thundercleaver will allow you to get that wave clear. Here at 6 minutes, I get my second kill of the game. Now, me and Sevarog were up close to their tower and really kind of pushing it. I really have not got used to the new dagger. If you didn't know, the dagger used to be an actual skill shot that you pulled it out and then threw it. Now it's just this automatic throw. Now, I'm not exactly sure why that Sevarog did that. I don't know if he was thinking he was going to come around and hit us into the tower. I'm not exactly sure, but that was a really bad call on him. And at this low level, my damage output is still so much higher than his tanky ability, especially since he probably hasn't got a whole lot of stacks yet, and I'm able to just really clear him up. Now here at about 8 minutes, I've still got my tier 2 tower up. I'm fairly healthy, but I'm getting low on mana, and my idea is I'm gonna pick up these card points, and then ult to this Revenant, which he'll probably be under tower whenever I do, so that'll just make it where, hey, if he does shoot me, he's going to take more tower damage, everything like that. Luckily, I was able to defend this tower for a little bit longer, and, you know, Revenant stayed just kind of watching me, and then he ran away from his minions, which, you know, he might have had a chance if he stayed in his minions, but he didn't, and I'm able to get this kill. Now, I ended up rotating to safe lane to help try to down this tower, and I ult over to mid lane, and I was going for Gideon. I didn't know that Sevarog was there, and so I instantly hit the button, and I would have probably got that kill on Gideon if I wouldn't have missed that ultimate, but he ended up getting away. No big deal. I'm able to heal up, stay in the shadow plane. I do have black buff, so I want to take as much of an advantage with that as possible. I'm going to help push this mid lane a little bit further. Revenant's really slow farming the off lane, so I haven't worried about it too much. And I'm just going to try to get some damage on this mid tower. Now at about 14 and a half minutes in, I head back and there ends up being a fight in mid. Now I ultimate the Gideon, and Aurora had her ultimate on him, so we just end up absolutely erasing him. Now, one thing to really know about Kallari is her job is to get kills. She doesn't have much to offer in the way of wave clear, as I said before. So she's kind of the cleaning crew. You know, you get someone low, she stealths in, kills them. That kind of thing. Now this Wraith is being very elusive for me. He's doing a great job of keeping eyes on this off lane. Every time I get close to him, he rewinds me, so I just haven't really been messing with him all that much because all it's doing is really wasting my mana. Now Revenant has managed to push my lane pretty far into my tier 2, so I'm going to go ahead and head over that way. This Wukong is kind of right here in the middle, and I'm going to try to get this kill on him, and then I'm going to get out and head over to my lane. So here at about 17 minutes in, this Sevarog, I didn't realize he was under the tower, and I end up ulting him and jumping out of that tower before I just absolutely get erased. I try to get a dagger on him, hoping that would kill him, but I don't know if I missed the dagger, it just didn't kill him. Gideon ends up ulting me, and this is the first time I've had to deal with the Gideon ult yet. Man, does it really pull you. So that's one thing to note is now with Gideon's ult, unless you have an evasive hero that can jump out or something like that, Gideon's ult really does pull hard. I'm able to survive his ultimate, get to a safe location and back. Luckily, none of us died, and I delayed that Sevarog from staying in lane for a little bit longer, but you know, I wish I would have got that kill, and it was kind of a wasted ultimate. here at 19 minutes, I have my first death. Now, I was just trying to get some damage on this tower, maybe take out this Gideon. He ends up ulting, I start taking tower damage. I should have really ran through the jungle and just left, but I try to get this Gideon kill, end up missing my dagger. Now I'm marked and they have vision on me. I know I'm about to die, so I just go ahead, take that black buff, just steal the black buff so they're not able to get it, and kind of accept my fate. If you're marked by Revenant, it doesn't matter if you're in the shadow plane or not. He can still see you, but especially when they have a ward down, you know, you're probably going down at that point. So, you know, I knew I was going to die. It's best just to take that black buff and keep it out of their hands. Now, I did end up getting a gank off of Wukong and on Revenant, but I cut those out. It was pretty straightforward stuff, you know, ult, invis, throw a dagger, beat him, you know, run away. That really standard kind of Kallari deaths. Now, Sevarog and Sevarog are having a battle, and I'm really hoping that he'll get away, so I go ahead and hit Gideon just to slow him down. Sevarog ended up getting that kill on our Sevarog, so, you know, I just end up leaving Gideon alone. I'm not going to take out or even try to take a Gideon on when they have, you know, a tank right next to them. Now, I do end up getting marked here, and I'm bloodthirsty. I want this Gideon bad, so I end up taking him out. Now, I can't go invis, so I go ahead, go invis, and I'm able to get away. Now, the ability that makes you go into the shadow plane when you hit 35 health, it's canceled when you use an ability, even when you try to go into the shadow plane, if you just saw there. So if you know you're about to go and hit that 35% threshold, make sure not to engage your shadow walk, because yeah, it will cancel it out. Now here at 33 minutes, I end up getting my second death, and it was just a really great play on their part. I end up picking up the red buff, fill back up on mana, and I'm going to go kind of do my Kallari thing, try to get a kill. You know, that's really what I was saying about Kallari, is she's almost a complete solo assassin. You know, she'll come in and clean up your scraps or pick up a kill all on her own. Now, they got vision on me, so I head out. I didn't want to stay in. I end up getting rewound. Their Wraith did a great job of just keeping me from really escaping. And he's throwing his little sensor ball things down. They're keeping vision on me. He's rewinding me again. You know, they're just doing a great job. But it's their full team after me. Now I ult over to try to escape, and their Revenant's fed up enough to where he pretty much just one-shot me. But that was just a really, you know, great engage and great effort on their part to get that kill. And my team really didn't capitalize on that, hey, all the enemies are missing, maybe we could go push a tower. That was probably a good, you know, 30-40 seconds of 4 enemies, or maybe even 5, completely 100% focused on me, all the way back at their inhibs. We should have really been pushing a lane or a tower. That's just one of the disadvantages of not playing with a team where you're communicating very well and things like that. Now here's the misclick that ended up costing us the game. I'm not exactly sure if we would have been able to win this, but right now we're fairly even. They've got one more tower than us, but we've got their mid inhib. Now I go to ult this Revenant and end up locking onto this Sevarog, and I had no idea he was even there. You know, that's really unfortunate, and Revenant ends up putting this ward down and just comes over and absolutely evaporates me. And from here, you know, it's just a slow loss. We end up getting that lane pushed all the way in. You know, we haven't had a whole lot of lane control this game, a lot of kill chasing, things like that. Well, as this video wraps up, I'd just like to kind of take a second to talk about Kallari. You know, there's a lot of people that want to play that sneaky assassin hero, but I don't think they realize you have to have just the right team comp to make Kallari, you know, worth it. If your team comp doesn't have just a whole lot of CC, things like that, it's really hard to play Kallari just because she's such a solo hero. She offers almost nothing in a team fight other than being able to output a ton of damage. That's kind of along the lines of your ADC. So if you are going to have these two type of high damage heroes, you need to have a couple of tankier heroes that complement, you know, your skill set. For instance, if you have a Severog going in, you know, he's not going to do a whole lot of damage, but you can. So he goes in and hey, you come up behind him while he's got him distracted and hit him 4 or 5 times, and before they know it, they're dead. Well, if you enjoyed this video, show me some love, leave me a comment, think about subscribing, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.